Hi guys, I'm back again for the last video of the day, video 8 I believe it is. And this one is intertwined with all the anxiety that we currently have, whether it is social anxiety, whether it is agoraphobia, whether it's post-traumatic stress, anger management. Because I was going to talk about anger management, I'll try and mix this in. But it is called fearing the worst. Alright? Big question mark. How do you think that involves you then? Right? Are you worried? Are you the type of person that will think, God, today this is going to happen to me? Or if I drive my car, I'm going to hit somebody, or someone's going to scrape my car, or I'm going to go to work and get fired, or I'm going to be late, or I'm not going to pay the bills this month, I'm not going to do this, not going to be that. Who am I going to go on to? So, alright, we got you there, and you're anxious. Okay? You're worried about, like, that's life. We'll call that, there's Mr. Life, there he is, big head. Okay? You're worried about, like, this guy, and the thing is, he hasn't even come into contact with you as such as yet, but fearing the worst is already in your face, right? He may, for example, you know, you're assuming things that probably ain't going to happen, but because you've had right bad experience, that then connotates onto that. So we have now got ourselves a nice little circle going, all right? So that leads to anxiety because you've had bad experience before. That will lead to fearing the worst. Do you know what I mean? I'll give you an example. I've been assaulted a few times in my life. I'm not a big lad. I'm tall, but you know, I'm not like a big muscular type of bloke. So I've been set on a few times, and so whenever I've gone out for just outside in general, it doesn't even have to be in a nightclub or a pub. It can be anywhere where there's rough-looking dudes or people like that. And I'm because of that experience, I'm fearing the worst. So then I've got what's called as a fight or flight mentality. You either fight it, fight or flight, and that's kicking in, fight or flight, fight or flight, fight or flight. So then you're zoning in on that. And that's one of the things that fearing the worst, you know. And of course, that bad experience is feeding that, which feeds your anxiety. So do you see where it's going? One thing feeds another. So in the end, you're just like a bag of nerves, fearing the worst, fearing you're not going to be good enough for the job. You're not going to be good enough for people around you. You're not going to be good enough. You're not going to close that deal. You're not going to get that job. You're not going to get where you need to go in life. Why is that? Because, and there's a big thing that we remember there, because it's massive. Alright. Excuse my spelling. Confidence. Confidence, guys. If you're not confident about yourself, then you're going to fear that you're not going to be confident around people, and that's one part of fearing the worst. Fearing the worst can come into a lot of things. OCD, fearing where your reactions to that. Fearing of social anxiety and anxiety, you fear the worst, and so your confidence level is down here. Brought on from bad experiences from life in general. Now, I can't really give you too many answers to that, although I can give you the only. I'm not really here to give advice. All I can hear is I can try and describe it from my point of view. which is a lot of what these videos are. I'm not here to say, I'm not here to guide, I'm not here to preach. What I will say is about fearing the worst doesn't do you any favours, alright? Life is going to happen. It's going round every damn day, okay? That's life. One big circle, one big happy circle. It's recycling day in, day out. Fearing the worst is fearing about things that sometimes don't even happen. You're putting stress on yourself because you're worried about, if you say you're going out with someone or you've just gone on a date, you're fearing that she's going to reject you or he's going to reject you because you've had it before. And so therefore your confidence is down. The other thing as well is trust. And trust is lost through a bad experience, so then your confidence is down, trust is down because you're fearing the worst. Someone might have cheated on you, they might have dropped you, it might have ended in a bad way, you might have really loved hard with someone and they've just walked away. And of course your confidence goes, your trust goes, and in fact you've lost all, and you meet someone and you are fearing that worst because you fear that you are going to love someone and they're just going to put an arrow through it, or you're expecting that. Alright, so therefore, what you're doing is making a bar for yourself and you're in it. There's you there. Alright, so you're making your own prison, so to speak. Now, when I mean that, sometimes when you fear the worst, you don't take chances. So you think, well, you know, if I don't get involved with someone, or if I don't do this experience, I don't do that, well, okay, I'm not going to get hurt. That's the upside. You're going to be in your safe zone. All right. Okay. So you're in a safe zone, which is here. There's you. Now, kind of like, you're not unhappy, but that's where you are now. Because you're fearing the worst. You're fearing if you go extend yourself, that you're going to come out of that safe zone. And I really understand that, because right now I'm going through it with my agoraphobia. I'm not doing anything. I'm not going out of this particular safe zone. Because I do fear the worst. I fear that if I come out of my comfort zone, we'll call it comfort. I think it was the comfort zone. If I go out of there, I'm going to end up doing something stupid, getting stressed out, getting upset, and it'll all come crashing down around me, and the mistakes that I've done before, and I'll just end up worse off than I was before. Alright? So at the moment, I'm kind of hovering here. I'm not really unhappy and I'm not really happy. I'm kind of like 50-50, yeah? I'd like to go out of my comfort zone, but I am fearing the worst, so I'm sticking to where I know. Which is like, I get it guys, I do. And that's the problem. We're stuck in these ruts because we are worried about fearing the worst, taking that chances. Now I'm not going to preach because I'm stuck in it as well, so fully understand it, where you're coming from with that. We can fear the worst for so many things. We fear if we get on an aeroplane, it's going to crash. Go on a train, it's going to be derailed. Jump in your car, someone's going to smash into you. Leave your car somewhere, someone's going to steal it, someone's going to scratch it. I've just had an email there off the solicitor, fearing the worst. Why this email off the solicitor? Because it's the solicitor, and they're all money, and they're all expensive. Blah de blah. It's my father's. It's my father's estate at the moment. I'm sorting that out, which is sorted out. But you see an email, you're not quite sure about a text message, so you're fearing the worst. You get a phone call, missed phone call, immediately fearing the worst. What's happened? What's happened? What's happened? What's happened? And it's the human mind going into overdrive, because that's how it is. Well, whereas what we should be doing is, if it's a problem, you know, it'll happen no matter what we do. I used to say, well, if it's a real issue, they'll be back in touch. Getting out of fearing the worst is not easy, but if you look at it for what it is, try not to let it dominate your life. If you can't make this month's mortgage, you can't make this month's mortgage, and no matter how hard you try, you can't kill yourself. There's no point in killing yourself to pay bills or killing yourself to worry about what's going to happen next day, because that day may never come. I understand why you're worried. I'm worried the same. And you can try what's called which I'm doing now, which is avoidance. And avoidance is where you know there's a bad situation, you're fearing the worst, you just avoid it altogether. Okay? And then therefore you then make yourself a recluse to a degree. Let's see, for example, you've been in debt, you've cleared your debt, you've met somebody, and they've said, why don't we buy a big house together or buy a car together? Now your warning signs is like, your face is like, oh my God, I'm never going down that road again. This guy, he's full of, oh, we'll be okay, we'll be all there. But then common sense kicks in. But it's also another thing about children as well. It could be kids. It could be like, well, she wants a child. You've had a nightmare with your ex-partner. So you're fearing the worst. You're fearing that if you have another child, it's going to be a disaster like the last one. Could be a marriage, for example. You could have had a bad marriage. She said one thing, he said another. And you're fearing that marriage is going to end up as bad as the last one. So we're on this little merry-go-round that we've got to be able to get out of. So I think one of the things that I would try and say before I close this video is try not to look too hard into things. Use common sense. Use your gut. Your gut's one of the best things you've got, that gut reaction. But don't look too hard into stuff, because believe you me, it will rule your life. And before you know it, you've just spent the last 2 years fearing something that wasn't going to even happen. Like the bogeyman under the bed, you know. He could be there every night, but you know, why worry about it? Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Any new guys or people like that, I will comment back. I'm pretty quick at it now, and leave your comments in the comments box. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe button. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.